Yo, what is up, fam? It's your boy Legend, and I am back with another video. You already know what this is just by looking at the thumbnail. Now, I know a lot of you are surprised that I am going 4 days in a row uploading consistently. Now, I know it might be a little late, but I'm sorry about that. I had to get a couple more images so I could make thumbnails for my future videos. But with all that said, let's just get into this intro so we can start this. What if?
Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah.
Naruto opened his eyes in confusion, looking up at the roof of his hospital room. Why do I feel this pang of fear and sadness? Sitting up, he looked around and rubbed his eyes. 1:45? Damn, it's way too early to be up. I better go back to sleep. Just as he went to lay down, he felt it again, like a cry for help. He felt immense pain and sorrow wash over him. Strangely enough, he knew it wasn't his own thoughts projecting such emotions. And even more strange was that he could sense the direction in which these emotions were coming from. A couple floors up and down the hall. Strange. That would be Taiya's room if it went up more than 2 floors. Standing up and stretching, Naruto made up his mind. I guess I'll go see what that is. See if I can help any. Jumping out his window and walking up the side of the building, he started walking. He was about a floor up when a massive wave of negative emotions hit him. So much anger and pain hit Naruto that he momentarily lost focus and started falling. He caught himself on a window ledge and with a little effort put himself back onto the wall. He had fallen a floor below his, but that didn't stop him. He started up the wall again, jogging this time. Another massive wave of pain and anger hit him, but this time he pushed through it, only slowing down a little bit. He got to an open, empty room. On the floor, Naruto felt the emotions coming from the strongest. And when he got there, he felt a small pang of worry. Oh shit. This is the floor Taiya's on. And those emotions are coming from down the hall, where her room is. Then he gasped as he remembered her words. What are you here, to get revenge because the Uchiha brat got away? Shit. Did one of the Leaf Ninja get pissed off at the failed mission to bring Sasuke back? Quickly making some clones, he sent them off to get certain ninja help. Once they had gone off to find their intended target, Naruto walked over to the open door and peeked his head around the door frame. The first thing his eyes fell on was the dead Chunin laying on the ground, their throats cut and the blood splattered all over the wall. Running over to see if they were alive or not. You're dumb. Naruto started to pale slightly, not breathing, no heartbeat either. Damn it! Then he saw it. The black lines forming a semicircle in front of Taiya's open room doorway. They were glowing slightly purple. Aren't those seals? His mind went back to the one time Iruka showed his proficiency in seals, when Naruto was trying particularly hard not to be caught. They're glowing as well, probably means they're activated. Another wave of emotions hit him, and he immediately snapped back into focus. Taiya! Running to her door, he stopped dead in his tracks at what he saw. Taiya was all but naked, torn panties, the only thing on her body. as she was tied down to a hospital bed with some gray-haired, bulky man standing over her. A tray of nasty-looking knives to his right. But what really made Naruto's veins freeze over were the many, many bruises and cuts covering Taiya's body. Right as he stepped in front of the door, the man who had been leaning over Taiya's body stood up straight. Wow, 47 minutes of physical torture and genjutsu torture, and not a word or scream. That's a new record. You definitely earned your place as one of the elite, Firecracker. But because of that, I'm going to have to step up the pressure. Time for my favorite type of torture. Chakra torture. Laughing maniacally, he brought his right hand over to one of Taiya's cuts, right above her right shoulder blade. His hand started glowing red, and Naruto saw her eyes gloss over slightly as she bit her lips. Then he brought his other hand right below her left breast, and it started glowing, this time blue. Taiya kept biting her lip, drawing blood until his hand stopped glowing and he frowned slightly. Alright, Firecracker. So maybe physical torture doesn't work on you. I commend you for lasting this long. No one's ever lasted this long when I torture them. But you're a woman. Sexual torture should be a lot of fun. As he said this, his hands were reaching down towards the black panties she was wearing. Taiya just screwed her eyes shut and waited for him to start. I'm not going to give this shithead the pleasure of hearing me. And then all hell broke loose. A mighty roar rocked the floor as several things happened all at once. A malicious chakra filled the entirety of her room. She felt Kagemaru get thrown away from her. And finally, she felt something fall on top of her. Something soft. All of this happened before she could open her eyes. But when she did, she gasped as she felt a tear come to her eyes. Standing in front of her was one Naruto Uzumaki, staring down at the slumped form of Kagemaru, who was against the wall. He, Naruto, wasn't wearing a shirt, and with his back slightly turned to her, she could see a scar running from his right hip all the way up to his left shoulder blade. She could still see his face, and she saw something that terrified her. His eyes, the same as her eyes that once held hope and happiness, were now blood red and slitted, and only showed extreme amounts of anger and hate. But the weirdest thing was the cloak of orange chakra with 2 big ears and 2 fox-like tails covering his entire body, emanating the malicious chakra she could feel. Wait, didn't that Anko bitch say he was hated his entire life? He also took down Sand Jinchuriki, plus that scar on his back, and this chakra. He's gotta be the Leaf's Jinchuriki, and right now he's protecting me. But why? Don't tell me he was actually being nice to me out of the kindness of his heart. She would have kept on going if not for the fact that Naruto had turned around and was looking directly at her. Go ahead, put on my jacket. Sorry if it doesn't fit comfortably, but it'll at least cover you up a bit. I'll take care of this guy. It was at this point in time she noticed the soft thing she felt land on her was Naruto's jacket. Said guy was now standing up and staring at Naruto impassively before he got a glint in his eyes. Listen up, kid. The name's Kagimaru. I don't know if you know who the redhead is, but listen to this. Her name is Taiya. She was part of the Sound 5, Orochimaru's top bodyguards. She was there during Sound's invasion of the Leaf. She helped put up the barrier that prevented reinforcements from helping your third Hokage fight Orochimaru. And she herself has killed dozens of people, including the two Chunin in the hallway. I was interrogating her for information she has on Orochimaru. If you help me, you'll be seen as a hero. Naruto chuckled before standing up straight and looking Kagimaru in his eyes. You're right. But you left one thing out. Kagimaru raised an eyebrow and Taiya felt fear enter her body as she started to shake. That was until Naruto bent down and put a hand on Taiya, where the cloak surrounded her as well, dropping him down to one tail instead of two. Taiya watched in shock and awe as she felt a powerful chakra enter her system, shattering the chakra restriction seals on the floor in the process. But what impressed her was the fact that all her cuts that would have scarred, all the bruises that would have stayed for weeks, and all of her many broken bones started healing themselves. Standing back up as this process was happening, Naruto finished his sentence. Her full name is Taiya Uzumaki. He quickly took a glance at Taiya, then glared at Kagimaru. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. We look out for our own. We don't abandon our family, and we protect what we care about. Because that's the Uzumaki Nendo, and you're a dead man. Kagimaru let out a roaring laughter. Fine, I'll play with you for a little bit, but just because I feel like it, I'll make you watch as I cut up and kill your pretty little girlfriend. With that, he charged forward and Naruto met him head on. Right as they clashed, Naruto grabbed Kagimaru's fist and started spinning. When he had reached the peak of his speed, he let go. Such was the force that he hit the wall with. He literally bounced off. The moment he bounced off the wall, a clone was right there digging his fist into Kagimaru's back, sending him flying into the other wall. And when he bounced off of that wall, another clone uppercutted him, sending him crashing into the ceiling. He had barely touched the roof when the real Naruto had grabbed Kagimaru's foot and slammed him into the floor. But Naruto wasn't done. The moment Kagimaru hit the ground, Naruto and his two clones started pounding him into the ground, punching and kicking him. That was until Kagimaru literally exploded with power, as jagged black lines started spreading from the back of his left palm to the right side of his body. An angry look on his face, and he growled, "Okay, kid. I underestimated you. Now, I'm going to kill you. Painfully." With that, he disappeared and reappeared above Naruto, coming down on him with a powerful karate chop. Naruto ducked under it and retaliated with a leg sweep. Kagimaru jumped over it and dive kicked Naruto into the chest, sending him flying back into the waiting elbow of Kagimaru, who had run around at an impressive display of speed. When Naruto had hit his elbow, Kagimaru grabbed Naruto by the head and started repeatedly slamming him into the wall, right where Naruto had done it to him. After the fourth slam, Naruto placed his feet against the wall and backflipped, and used his claw-like hands to slash Kagimaru right across his back and the back of his knees. Naruto then placed his hands on Kagimaru's back, shouting, "Ninja art, lightning style, wired circuit." Naruto's hands started cackling as tendrils of lightning chakra went from his elbow to the back and then body of Kagemaru. Kagemaru simply went limp before pushing his way through the jutsu and then grabbed Naruto's hands, his hair raising slightly. Grinning, he said, "Lightning style, reverse wire." With that, his own lightning started coming from his wrists and seemed to clash with Naruto's lightning. "Don't even try to beat me, kid. I've had years of lightning nature training. Considering where your lightning came from on your body, you just started." With that being said, Kagemaru's lightning overpowered Naruto's and went all over Naruto's body. But then something unexpected happened. Naruto fell to one knee and made the ox hand sign before saying, "Lightning style, haywire field." Slamming his hand onto the ground, he forced Kagemaru to backflip to the doorway as an entire minefield of chakra made its way between him and Naruto. Kagemaru brought out two kunai and said, "I can pick you off from a distance." Throwing them, he made some hand signs and two kunai became 20, but Naruto was already finishing his own set of hand signs as Kagemaru did his. Shadow kunai jutsu. Earth style protective earth wall. A chunk of the hospital floor came up as the 20 kunai thudded with the wall. As it shrank, Kagemaru saw Naruto finish yet another set of hand signs. Kagemaru made to get out of the way, but felt a set of hands grab him and hold him in place. Looking left and right, he saw two grinning clones holding him. Looking at Naruto, he saw his chest expand slightly before he brought his hands down against his stomach. Wind style, drilling air bullets. 3 spears of air, roughly the size of basketballs, came out of Naruto's mouth and went straight towards Kagemaru. On the way, Naruto raised his hands into an ox sign saying, "Ninja arts, lightning style, spear spiker." As the air bullets passed over the haywire field, it literally lifted up and surrounded the bullets, giving them lightning-shaped spikes. Before they hit him, Kagemaru had just one thought running through his head. Wind and lightning style. A cooperation ninjutsu? Then they hit home, all 3 burying themselves into his chest and sending him flying into the adjacent wall. As the dust settled, Naruto fell to one knee, his demonic chakra cloak flickering on and off. That was until he felt a soft pair of hands place themselves onto his back. Turning around in surprise, he saw Taiya looking at him, a hint of worry in her eyes. Then the chakra surrounding her moved back to Naruto as his cloak came back full force. Nodding to Taiya, he turned around and got socked right in the jaw as Kagemaru came back into the room in a furious state. In fact, his black jagged lines were now glowing a pumpkin orange, and his eyes had changed to be a 4-pointed diamond with a gray background. "Again, I underestimated your powers. I understand now why Kimimaro Senpai was sent personally to stop you. But I'm through playing games." Naruto, who was just picking himself up, grinned as a second tail formed behind him, and his claw-like hands became more defined. "Good, because I'm going to give you everything that I have." Taiya gasped as Naruto's sudden change. His voice was now more powerful, and his chakra, it suddenly skyrocketed in Naruto's mindscape right as he made the earth wall. "Oi, Fox, I'm going to need more power from you. I can't beat this guy as he is." The 9-tailed fox looked down at Naruto before looking up at the roof of his cage. "Well, brat, as it is, I can only give you 2 tails worth of power, and you just spent one of those on your girlfriend. Naruto fumbled his step as he blushed and looked away. Hey, she's not my girlfriend. Besides, this guy's going to kick my ass if he tries getting any more power from his curse mark. Kyuubi growled. Listen, brat. I already said, this seal isn't allowing me to give you any more power until what I gave you is gone. Naruto himself hit the bars of the Kyuubi's cage. Then what the hell can we do? Kyuubi grinned before saying, well, if you'll let me gain access to your sight and hearing as well as sense of smell, I think I can help you out. Naruto looked at the Kyuubi for a second. Okay, why do you want to be so helpful all of a sudden? From what he could tell, the Kyuubi seemed to shrug before saying, I have an avid sense of wanting to live, kid. Naruto grumbled before saying, fine, what do I have to do? Outside of his mindscape, Naruto opened his eyes and started doing hand signs as he heard the fox talking in his head. And when they pass over your little lightning technique, make the ox hand sign and imagine the chakra wrapping itself around your wind ninjutsu. Present time. Alright, kid. I've given you the absolute max amount of power your body can handle at the current moment. If you're careful, you'll be able to use 2 tails worth of power for maybe 15 minutes. Thanks, Fox. I won't waste it. With those resounding thoughts, Naruto rushed forward, slamming his palms into Kagemaru's chest. His shirt, or whatever he was wearing, a tattered rag on the floor. Grabbing as best as he could, Naruto picked Kagemaru up and slammed him into the ground. He was going to punch Kagemaru in the face when he grabbed Naruto's wrist and threw him off, tackling him into the wall and then slamming into Naruto with his shoulder. Naruto brought his feet up and kicked Kagemaru away and brought his hands up in the ox hand sign. Lightning style. Live wire mine. Around Naruto's left hand, a disc formed, roughly the size of a frisbee. He started throwing numerous ones on the floor in front of him and Taiya and around Kagemaru, who just stared impassively. Oi, brat, you should have learned from your little combat jutsu. That won't work. He took a single step forward when Naruto made a trigger sign, and the ones around Kagemaru made a small cage entrapping him. Naruto smirked and said, lightning style. Bird cage success. Kagemaru laughed. This won't stop me, boy. He grabbed the bars of the cage and he was immediately electrocuted. Smoke coming from his now singed hair. Growling, he started forcing his way through the lightning, much to Naruto's surprise. Alright, kid. I underestimated you. That was my fault, but next time we meet, I will kill you. Was that he simply vanished. Naruto took a step to go after him and fell to a knee, faltering slightly, his cloak now receding from him. He walked to Taiya, who was simply staring at the spot where Kagemaru used to be. She flinched as Naruto gently touched her shoulder. To his surprise, Taiya looked at him for a second before clinging to him. The pain from the knives still there, the mini genjutsu she had been subjected to still fresh in her mind, the burns on her shoulder and breast still warm. For the first time in over 10 years, Taiya cried. She clung to Naruto's chest, not bothering to hide herself. Naruto, for his part, didn't do anything. He simply hugged Taiya and rubbed her back softly and humming a small tune in her ear. which actually seemed to work. Within 5 minutes, Taiya sobbed quieted down, and her shaking shoulders slowed down. Taiya was going to sleep. Naruto remained vigilant and kept humming the tune which Taiya couldn't recognize. As she fell asleep, she was still thinking, what is that tune? It wouldn't be for another 2 days until she would realize what he was humming was the lullaby she had been playing earlier that day. And that's the scene that Tsunade, Kakashi, and surprisingly enough, Anko walked in on. Taiya slumped against Naruto, snoring softly, and Naruto looking down at the floor, apparently deep in thought. In a hospital room and hallway that looked like it had gone through hell and back, it was Anko that said something to break the silence. Damn, kid, what the hell happened here? Naruto looked and smiled before gently placing Taiya back in her bed. Walking over to the three, he said, well, I fought some guy named Kagimaru, and he was tough and had a curse mark. What's the point in sending clones to find you all if the fight's over by the time you get here? Kakashi just laughed and scratched the back of his head. Well, you see, Naruto, once your clones found me, I saw a black cat crossing the street and I decided to... He never got to finish, as he got slapped upside the head by both Tsunade and Anko. Then Shizune rushed in, tauntaun in hand, apparently out of breath. Out of shape, bitch. Lady Tsunade, you must stop running off on me. Looking at the room, her eyes widened in surprise. What happened in here? Then her eyes fell on Naruto and his disheveled state. Naruto-kun, are you alright? Never mind, lay down so I can have a look over you. She didn't even give Naruto a chance to argue as she pushed him onto the bed and started analyzing him with her medical ninjutsu. Growling, she bonked Naruto on top of his head, much to his displeasure. Hey, what was that for? Shizune just snarled and got in his face. You just got out of a major fight with Sasuke, where you were seriously injured. You shouldn't be doing any heavy fighting periods, let alone using the Fox's chakra. Kami knows what this little stunt you pulled has done to your chakra pathways. Powerful demon and Uzumaki healing factor be damned. You still just a kid, and severely underdeveloped for a ninja your age. Tsunade, Kakashi, and Anko were just laughing in the background at Naruto's misfortune. Tsunade walked over to Taiya while Shizune was doing her examination of Naruto. Alright, Squirt, start talking. Why the hell does this room look like it went through a Biju attack? Also, why the hell do I have 2 dead Chunin? So, Naruto started talking about how he woke up due to feeling emotions and how he discovered the 2 dead Chunin and the fight following it. Afterwards, and a few seconds of silence, it was Tsunade that spoke first. Well, Kagimaru knew what he was doing. These scars are going to take a couple of hours to go away. Of course, Kakashi spoke afterwards. Naruto, I only taught you elemental manipulation a couple of days ago. How are you this proficient already? Naruto smiled sheepishly. I, may have several hundreds of clones practicing off in the forest of death. Again, Shizune growled. Damn it, Naruto! And fuck you, Kakashi! How dare you start training the boy when he is seriously injured? Kakashi just raised both hands and shrugged. Meh. Naruto was going to go off with Jiraiya in a week or so. I had things I needed to teach him. After I saw the results of his fight with Sasuke, I knew I had failed as a sensei. Besides, Naruto is the one who decided to take things a step further. This nigga a snitch. But there is one thing that been bothering me. Naruto, you said the Kyuubi was helping you out? Naruto nodded. Yeah, the fox showed me how to do what he called dual elemental collaboration jutsus involving my lightning style and my wind style. It really helped when he sent pictures to my mind of what the jutsu should have looked like. But guys, I'm going to end it off right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe while you're at it. The like goal for this video is going to be 5 likes. But without further ado, I am off, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys, stay blessed.